All right, everybody, welcome in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmore, and this one is going to be featuring a pair of community members. In the blue here, we've got COBALT playing in the Celestial faction, and then his opponent in the Infernal faction. This is Synapse. And that's right, these are two community members. And they're playing the demons and the angels. It's always good to have this good versus evil matchup, depending on which side you're on. I'm, of course, on the infernal side. As an infernal player, they're the good. It's the celestials that are the evil. From my point of view, celestials are evil. Well, I'm not sure what point of view you have, but maybe you agree with me. Because right now there are a couple of Argents scurrying across, trying to see what they can do. They're not balled up, bunched up yet. They're just spread out. That's not huge. That's just a brave, sort of loose way to play. There is one gremlin here. Gremlin gets one fireball off before deciding to go back to the tribute pyre. Boom! That's a bunch of blood splurted from that gremlin. Another gremlin summoned and shows up. Throws another fireball. Also gets splurted, but here comes a Hellborn. I like this. This is a fun way to start the game. First unit, Hellborn. Destroyed an Argent. Argent guts down there. Argents bleed white. That's because they are robots, and we know robots bleed white. That's at least what we've learned from the Alien franchise. So, two of the Argents return home to tell of the tale. There's a Hellborn there. Let's not attack. They're talking about the old-fashioned Hellborn. Let's not even remember that. There was a different time. Now they just throw a big flaming fireball, and if you get hit with it, it's scary. Especially after upgrades. Then you'll be on fire. Now upgrades take tier 3. We are in tier 2. That's what you need for the Hellborn. We all need... Actually, they think they're... Actually, I can't remember. You need a greater spire, greater spire. Now I'm just really confused. Just need...
A Stormgate will activate soon.
Need to get your good old building that you need to get to tier 3. That's the one. You all know the one I'm talking about. Let's just pretend I said its name properly. Third base coming out here for Synapse, just as the Stormgate's coming online.
A Stormgate has appeared.
And the old Hellborn has been followed up by a Brute and 2 Gaunts. And a nice scan, seeing them move out. Argent's on the high ground. Trying to cut them off because that's the idea. Get this good scan. But the Fiends were like, maybe we can win this all by ourselves. Argents! Come in. Boom. Yeah. Fiends are not going to be able to do enough against that many Argents. But they leave the Stormgate, go and heal up in the Wellspring a little bit. That gives the Gaunts and the Hellborn time to say, well, maybe I will move out, because I found another Brute and some more Gaunts. We're feeling a bit braver. Argents have healed up, and here they come. Stormgate still under attack. Gaunt gonna go down, maybe? Maybe? Couple weak Gaunts. One does pop. Couple weak Argents, so 2 more Brutes showing up. Effigy gets taken out. Some of the units kind of get split there as the Gaunts and Hellborn attack the Stormgate, and the Brutes do come down, but the Argents pulling back to the Wellspring, getting a little bit of juice, getting a little bit soaked up. This Stormgate is won in the meantime. Synapse grabs it. Still throwing those flaming fireballs. Big old basketball of fire. Beach ball maybe of fire, we'll see. We got a shambling horde, creeping horde, whatever they're called. I always want to call them shambling. They look like they shamble. They shamble more than they creep in my mind. Is this guy creepy? I don't think so. He's just a normal dude. But he shambles. He walks with shamble. Well, he's not on the map. He's hanging out in the army because they've come back to chill on the old Shroud. That's basically healing for our Infernal faction. We've got Kree out here for COBALT 2, also on to base number 4. Both parties, I guess, are up on working on base 4 here. More Kree rolling out for Cobalt. Lots of creation chambers there. There's his Guardian Nexus. Couple of chalk bears. That's just how you roll when you support the Children's Hospital of Orange County. Kree going and looking for base number 5 up here. Nothing to be found, which I guess is good news. And an army is being built instead by Synapse. Not going for mass expand. Is adding more production building over here as a bit of a sim city as well. I like that. That's going to help protect against Kree. That's smart. Could use a little bit of the same over here. Those Kree were awful close. And are we... It's still on Greater. Still on Greater. Little macro shrine over here. Try and get a little bit extra Ethereum income.
Detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
So both sides did a little bit of macroing in this last Stormgate cycle. Fifth base coming down. Cobalt did that scouting, didn't see fifth base, wasn't getting attacked, decided, so I'm going to go for fifth base. We've got...
A Stormgate has appeared.
Stormgate coming down. Scan goes down to see if the army's going to come in. And boom, it does see it, because the scan is a very long time for vision. And boom, in comes the Kree, rolling out, rolling on top of the Gaunts. The Gaunts were awkwardly up in the front there, not enough brutes to body block for them, so lots of Gaunts going down to the Krees. Bonus damage. We're even hearing a Hellborn go down, a couple Hellborns go down. The creeping Shambler, the Shambling Creeper also died. But at the same time, after the Kree kind of went down, Argents were also paying the price, and it looks like the snowball after snowballing kind of landed in Synapse's favor. Another Stormgate won. Crazily, while being contested, and we get the Necrolast popping. Not quite on top of the army, but they are in a very advantageous place. They can be used to zone out. One takes out some of the Judicator nodes. And there's 2 left to do whatever needs to be done. There's a couple of Judicators over here with some Necrolust names on it. Although at the moment there's not a lot of contesting from Cabal. Here comes his Kree, here comes his Argents, but they're standing right on the ramp. You don't want to do that. Necrolast are saying, please, we're very slow, but we would love to explode all over. Ooh, getting some nice Prism kills. That may have been sacrifice Prisms. Another Kree getting a Necrolust and pushing up the ramp here, but in doing that, they spent a lot of Synapse's forces. Here comes some reinforcement Gaunts, but maybe, Hellborn goes down here. Prism's being pulled as well. They're going down at the front line, but that means another Hellborn goes down. Heaven's Step to try and get the last Hellborn. There are a lot of Gaunts here, and with their curse, that means there's Phantoms coming out. Those Phantoms are, of course, hard to deal with. Kree reinforcements showing up. At least there's Defender's advantage for Cobalt here. Lots of battling here. Up on this 3rd or 4th base here. More reinforcements showing up. Extra Hellborn have shown up. That's bad news for Cobalt. Just trying to hold on. I think his hold on this base is going to fall as Synapse is starting to push into that little choke there. A couple brutes are enough to hold it, while the rest of the range units can really just put down some damage on this base, and it's going to go down. Cobalt has let it go. We see more reinforcements showing up, and Synapse is just going to A-move into the natural here. The Kree turn and fight. They get on top of some units, and catching them in that little bit of a mini surround there did get some nice trades. But there's just a lot of units, and now that everyone's moved through the choke, it is Synapse's battle here. We get some Seraphim showing up on the field here. They would be good, except there are enough Gaunts right now to deal with them. Not enough ground army to deal with the Gaunts. I say that as the Gaunts all get chewed up by Kree. Now that one lone Seraphim might be able to do something. More Gaunts showing up, but as long as the Seraphim can be protected, maybe can deal with some of these Hellborn.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Nonetheless, there are 3 Hellborn here. We're going to start seeing some of these production buildings going down. Maybe this arc ship going down. There are also units fighting over here at the ramp. These are reinforcements now trying to come in from the other side. Down goes the creation chamber. Down goes the arc ship. Out comes some more Kree. Anything they can to stop the bleeding here. Seraphim did work into a small little ball of 3 here. That's 1 Hellborn down. They're just here as a Hellborn hit squad. They're going to try and get the last Hellborn. And they get it. But just like last time, not enough to clean up the Gaunts, and the Gaunts themselves are pretty dangerous, especially when they can pop some prisms there, get those phantoms. More Kree showing up. Kree are the answer to the Gaunts, but just as we say that, more brutes, more reinforcements coming across the map from Synapse. Unfortunately, some of them getting aggroed on this Stormgate here, so he has to kind of manipulate them by grabbing the all army or by grabbing them individually. And finally, actually, we get a GG from COBALT in this wild game.